Welcome to the weekly portion of Vayetze. Jacob is leaving his hometown for the fear of his brother and also in order to get a wife from the family. And he's going all the way to Haran. We'll read it once regular, once with a melody, and then talk a little bit about the grammar. So, Vayetze Yaakov mi Be'er Shava, Vayelech Harana, Vayifga b'makom, Vayalen sham kiva hashemesh, ויקח מאבני המקום, וישם מרעשותיו, וישכב במקום ההוא. And once with the melody, ויצא יעקב מבאר שבע, וילך הרנה, ויפגע במקום, וילן שם קיבה השמש, ויקח מאבני המקום, וישם מרעשותיו, Vayishkav b'makom hahu. So, this is a very good example for the way in which Hebrew narrative is written in the Hebrew Bible. It is almost always with a vayikol verb at the beginning of the clause, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 examples. Okay. Vayetze, vayelech, vayifga, vayalen, vayikach, vayasem, vayishkav. You can see this va at the beginning of all of these with a vav, patach, and a dagesh in the following letter. The following letter could be one of 4 letters, the aleph, the yod, the tav, and the nun, what we call the eitan letter. Eitan means enduring, and these are the letters that are put at the beginning of the yiktol or the vayiktol conjugations of the Hebrew. When we have, as in these examples, when we have the yod at the beginning in all of these examples, and no u at the end, nothing at the end, it marks the third person masculine singular. So vayetze, and he did so and so, vayelech, and he did so and so, etc. Obviously, it changes according to the meaning of the verb. So Vayetze means he went out. Vayelech means and he journeyed, he walked, he went. Vayifga, and he reached. It can be other meaning. There are other meanings to the root Pei Gimel 9. Vayalen, he spent the night. Vayikach, he took. Vayasem, he set, he put. Vayishkav, he laid down. Okay, so these are the vayiktol verbs. And then we have the subject. So we had the verb with a vayiktol, followed by the subject. The subject here is an explicit subject, an overt subject, Yaakov. Who went out? Jacob went out. This is the regular structure of a narrative sentence in biblical Hebrew. Vayetze Yaakov mi Be'er Shava. Setting aside the discussion of what would be the unmarked word order in biblical Hebrew in general, but in the narrative, there is no doubt that the standard is a vayiktol verb followed by the subject if there is an explicit subject, if there is an overt subject. Usually, after the subject is mentioned, it doesn't have to be mentioned again. So you can see that vayelech, vayifga, vayalen, vayikach, vayasem, vayishkav are not followed by another mentioning of Jacob. Okay, there is a covert subject. There is an understanding that the Jacob is indeed the subject of all of the preceding ones. Okay, due to the fact that the Hebrew verb already contains the subject from a grammatical standpoint, we know that all of these are third person masculine singular. It is he did so and so. So we may assume that the he is the last he mentioned, the last person who is he that is mentioned, and that is Jacob. Okay, we do, however, see a deviation from the vayiktol. All of these that we've mentioned so far are what we call vayiktol forms. We have one deviation, and that is va, kiva hashemesh. Okay, why do we have this kiva hashemesh? Because following the word ki, this is a dependent clause, okay? It's a subjugated clause, if you will, explaining the narrative. What happened that led to the narrative verb preceding it? he spent the night over there because the sun had set. So you can see the translation of this katal verb. This is how we call this type of a verb. Vahashemesh is had set. Okay, if the vayalin is the narrative past, and we want to describe what happened before, which led to it, we have kiva hashemesh. Another one or two things. Haran, now you can see the I at the end telling us he went toward Haran. Okay, there are few ways of marking the destination of someone when journeying from one place to another. It could be done by the preposition el, can be done by the lamed preposition in and of itself. It can be done directly without any markers, and it can be with a hey, directional hey added at the end, showing us the direction. So Vayelech Harana, he went to Haran, he went toward Haran. Another important point, we have bamakom, hamakom, bamakom. So the word makom is repeated 3 times. We have to be very attentive to words repeating themselves in biblical verses and biblical passages and biblical stories. This is the way of the narrative to tell us what to focus on. What would be the reason to focus on these issues? That is a hermeneutical thing. You have to be able to understand the whole context in order to suggest what would be the significance of it. But we first have to point out and to notice the repetition of these specific words.